we have not totally healed. And there's a segment of this country that have not been fully integrated in terms of the politics of this country. Whether or not an Igbo man can become president of Nigeria, do you think that we have moved away from the Civil War syndrome and we have totally healed such that an Igbo man like Peter Obi from Anambra State, an Onitsha man, will one day become Nigeria's president? How do we deal with the Kaduna Isiogwu tagged coup? Because that seems to have been a major wound that a lot of Nigerians think that they can trust an Igbo man. So Obi, don't you think that this is probably not about Peter Obi? Because any person that understands the Nigerian history from the Civil War to the post-Civil War would think that, imagine that we have not totally healed. And there's a segment of this country that have not been fully integrated in terms of the politics of this country. Whether or not an Igbo man can become president of Nigeria, do you think that we have moved away from the Civil War syndrome and we have totally healed such that an Igbo man like Peter Obi from Anambra State, an Onitsha man, will one day become Nigeria's president?
That is the beginning of that is the foundation of the healing. And that is where you start to build momentum and build Nigeria. And that would be that is the beginning. So a Peter Obi presidency would commend the healing and the unity that is required to stabilize and build a better Nigeria. That's why I said a new Nigeria is possible. How do we? Because everybody will be good.
How do we deal with the Kaduna Isiogwu tagged coup? Because that seems to have been a major wound that a lot of Nigerians think that they can trust an Igbo man.
You must at any particular point in time know that you cannot be trapped in the process of yesterday. Those who are trapped in the process of yesterday must live the future. There must be a time to know that we are the same. We must come together. Yes, we are the same, but we must not be trapped in it. It must not deprive us tomorrow. Those who are trapped in the process of yesterday and today will miss tomorrow. I want to drive this country to tomorrow. I want the child of Nigeria to be able to grow up in Nigeria, go to school, live his life without thinking about his pride, without thinking about yesterday, without thinking about his religion, but as a Nigerian and be proud of it. And we're going to do that. That is exactly what I am offering the people. I will never divide Nigeria. I will unite Nigeria. I will show love to every part of Nigeria and make sure things are done differently because I'm going to involve everybody.
I'd like to look into this camera, Mr. Obi, because every northerner that is watching through that lens tonight will wonder whether or not they can trust an Igbo man. What would you say to them tonight that you, Peter Obi, can be trusted to become Nigeria's president and the lives, the destiny and the politics of the northern man is still in your hands?
Sure, I'll change the north. I have an idea what is happening in the north. And nobody can drive that process today in Nigeria that I've seen in the politics better than me. I will work with them and I'll ensure that that unity, that security, that prosperity they desire, I will unleash, I will commence it. And I'll show it. Shall I work closely with people in the north? I have an idea what is happening in the north. I have an idea that is going to have massive poverty that needs to be built. I have an idea that to deal with the issue of education and health properly, not listen, and I'll deal with it decisively.
If you look at it, there are those who say we have not healed totally from the 1966 up to the 70. What would you do? You saw what happened in South Africa. There are those who say we need to reconcile. We need to sit at a table, look eyeball to eyeball. The generation of those who are 30-year-old today, who are 20-year-old today, who do not know the pains of the 1966 and 1970. They had a moment of reconciliation where they had a committee for reconciliation. Do you think that we need a moment of sitting down as a people to reconcile and think about what happened in the Civil War and move forward?
We need to have, I said before and I repeat, my presidency will heal and unite Nigeria.
That's what you stand for. Are you going to set up a committee? Or you are going to...
No, it's not what you say that. The actions of the presidency will show what we're going to do.
Tell me about what Alimodu also said about northern tags. And you have been accused of labeling northerners. How do you respond to that?
Sir, that's the lie. It never happened. Sir, I know Sharif's ABC is on the north. Most governors choose their ADC, who is the closest person from them, from their own. My ADC is from Kaduna, and he's a Muslim. ADC was a Muslim, still a Muslim. So how can you have a Muslim as the closest person to you? You're giving this attack. All the commissioners that served me in 8 years I was in office were Muslims. We are not actually Muslims, but I'm from the north. So how did I give them tax people from the north? So before I became governor, my closest or my 2 closest staff from the bank were from Kano. All the people I have, even military friends, were all from the north. So before I became president, I've always to date paid for at least, let me even because at least a Muslim every year to go to Hajj, every year. And I have records of them. As governor, I was paying for Christians to go for pilgrimage. I was paying for Muslims living in Anambra to go to Hajj. They are there. I'm sure while he was governor in Borno State, he never paid for any Christian to go to pilgrimage. I was paying for Muslims to go to him. So how can I be giving them back? And I can go on and on and show you what I'm doing now privately on my own, going to do borehole. As I speak to you, saying I'm supporting 4 Almajiri schools in Kaduna, in Bauchi, and this. I'm supporting School of Nursing in Bauchi, in Kaduna, the Muslim school, and I can go on and on. So you see, people, these are things they've done in the past to keep Nigeria divided.
Well, are there things that you have done in the past that you regret about the optics and how you were profiled, and you thought that maybe it's something that you need to change, that you have done wrongly, to make you look like you are ethnic jingoist?
That's what I'm saying. This is the way they do. Instead of us discussing the problem of the country, people come before you to discuss Peter Obi. Peter Obi, Peter Obi. That's not the issue. So one man has just said that 79% of Nigerians are going to face poverty. In a country of 230 million people, that's over 180 million. That should be the issue we should be discussing.
When they are mentioning,
they should be talking about issue of out of school children, talking about issue of health, and all these monies that are missing here and there that would have invested properly. Nobody is discussing it.
When politicians come on my program and they keep mentioning your name, how does that make you feel?
Well, it's not about what they discuss about me. Calling me name doesn't make me feel anything. But there are abundant issues we are supposed to discuss. I'm discussing what I think is irrelevant.
Do you think mentioning your name shows that you are a real threat and a man to beat in this election?
Well, like I said, this election in 2027 should be about issues that affect the ordinary Nigerian who don't know. With the World Food Organization have just said that 5 million Nigerians are going to face hunger. Of course, Nigerians are being kidnapped. Let's talk about Nigeria. Let
me ask quickly, because I like to settle some of the major issues that I think are very significant and give you a chance of a right of reply. Because when Mr. Alimodu Sheriff also said that no matter what, even with Kwankwaso as your running mate, you still cannot win the north.
Like I said, that is what they've been able to say to keep us divided. That's what they always say to ensure that the people continue to live on this confusion that we're in today, this mess that we're in today. And that's what we want to dismantle. We want to ensure the ordinary Nigerian that a Peter Obi Kwankwaso government will change this country for good and be able to allow the poor Nigerians to start living differently.
It takes me to the point that Mr. Kwankwaso himself made on politics today when he said that there is a pact that you will only serve out 4 years if you win the election. Did you have an agreement to that effect?
I've said this thing several times, Shehu. We have what we can call a written agreement. We're gentlemen, we must respect it. I don't need more than 4 years to show the path Nigeria will tread. It is a simple thing.
Was it written? Did you start an agreement with NDC?
It is NDC demanded that everybody, I preach it. So even if you want me to sign it with you, I sign it with you. It doesn't bother me. A day more than 4 years, not Peter Obi. I want us to start trusting our leaders. So when I was going to become a governor, I said the things I would do. And when I came in, I started doing it. I told everybody, go and listen to my campaign. I said, I will manage their money efficiently. I will do so nobody will, schools will work, health will work. Everything I said, and I did it. That's the way to work. Leaders, our people have lost trust in our leaders. That's why I always say we need to deal with the issue of character. The character of a leader must be consistent in doing the right thing. And whatever it says, even if you don't achieve 100% of it, so people must do 100% effort in doing that. And I said, and I repeat again, I will serve for 4 years. Capital, if you want to be capital 4 years, not a day more.
Why do you think that you need only 4 years? Because there are those who policy and governance experts who have said your definition of 4 years or your stance of 4 years will not get the job done. That in the first just remember, sir, your first budget is not your own. The second budget, you will struggle to make it happen. Third year, you are still trying to understand the room. Fourth year, you are done. Is this about defeating Bola Tinubu, or this is just a sheer policy goal that you have set up for yourself?
So you can change and start driving this vehicle called Nigeria in the wrong direction in 6 months. We are headed in the wrong direction now.
As it is right now?
Yes.
Bola Tinubu is leading us nowhere. That's your...
You can see it. That's why people might say I call for resignation. That's why maybe I'm calling for his retirement. He doesn't listen, Chairman.
The man should just go step aside.
Yes, he doesn't have the capacity to do the job.
You don't trust him any longer.
No. The Bola Tinubu that was governor, not the one that is president today, is tired. He should be allowed to retire in peace and then go on.
But look at what Donald Trump said. Donald Trump's letter to him is to the effect that the man has done well in terms of fighting insurgency and terrorists. What do you say to that?
Thank you to Donald Trump. Thank you to President Tinubu. But we need to do more. Far more than what we are doing. I'm not saying far more than what we are doing. Sharon, I've heard people, and Donald Trump is now confirming it, say he has done his best. But what the crisis we are facing, his best is not enough. We need to do more. On Wednesday, 40 people were arrested in Zafar. And the entire community, everybody is starting to run away. On Thursday, 50 is over. So we're in a crisis situation that requires added capacity.
What would you do differently if you were president?
I've said it several times. Sharon, I will be far more committed in dealing with that issue. And I will be at the forefront. I will be the driver. Nobody. It's not just I will visit there, I will go there, I will deal with it. Everybody will see it. He can't do it there, not because he doesn't have the capacity.
How would you fight insecurity? Precisely. What exactly? Give us 3 things you will do to ensure that insecurity is dealt with.
First, I will not disclose it in the open, but I will be far more committed. We will ensure that our security architecture is